Alright, so in my paper over the policy of drinking and driving and how we need to strengthen the laws. So basically I'm trying to strengthen the laws. More and more people these days are tending to drink and drive, and in 2011 over 9,000 people were actually killed by drunk drivers according to Alcohol Alert. I personally think this is an issue that needs to stop, and that we need to make laws more strict and everything like that. It seems like people who are drinking and driving always seem to stay alive when they get into an accident compared to the people who aren't. Always seems like they're not making it out very well. And I don't think that is right, but it's how it happens. If the laws were more strict these days, the people who were not drinking would make it out alive more often than none, and that kind of stuff. This is a major deal the past couple of years, to multiple years actually, and it's about time that this problem needs to stop. We need to take it one step at a time. With people being able to find ways to shimmy around the laws, I think that we need to make it more strict. It's not as strict as it can be. If the laws were more strict, those 9,000 people could still be alive, some of them at least, if not all of them could be alive, rather than the people who killed them under the influence. And that was also by Alcohol Alert. Yes, it's alright to have a few drinks every now and then, but it's not okay to go out and get plastered and then think you can make it home perfectly fine and not have any consequences by like killing an innocent family or something like that. Let's see here. It might be worth it, it might not be. I'd say it wouldn't be. By saying that, I think that we need to stricten the laws more for people, and I think by that we need to make the punishments more serious. With that, after the first year, instead of having just a 30-day license suspension after your first DUI, I think it needs to be a year. After your second offense, it needs to be 2 years. And after your third offense, it just needs to be a clean, no more license permanently. And that needs to be throughout the entire country, not just the state of Kansas. Once a person gets a DUI, I think they need to go to rehab or at least take a alcohol and drug class. And it actually helps you to learn stuff from that class. I myself personally took 2 classes, not because I got a DUI, but for other reasons. And one of the classes was called an Alive at 25 class. This class was an eye-opening class that shows what happens to people who drink and drive and how it can affect their families and other people themselves. I think that this would be a good eye-opening class for people and that it should be recommended. Another class is an alcohol and drug information class, which tells you about how the alcohol and other drugs affect the human body and the circulatory, not circulatory, but give me a second here. Yeah, I lost my train of thought here. It affects a person's performance like that, and studies show that the body itself changes the more the alcohol goes on. Alcohol itself is a depressant drug, and that's why it makes it through the blood-alcohol barrier to the human brain and affects it. Another good reason to stop DUI, or a good way to stop it, is by having cops and other people at bars or anywhere that people are drinking in a large amount to check whether or not they are fit to drive and all that kind of stuff. If a person is not fit to drive, they need to have a designated driver, also known as a DD in most cases. The alcohol, like I was trying to say earlier, I finally just caught up to myself here, but it slows down the central nervous system and your reaction time. So if you don't drink alcohol, it helps out. Many people these days think that alcohol, the age of the drinking limit, needs to be lowered down to the age of 18. I, for one, think that is not a good idea. The human body is not fully developed at the time, and therefore I think that the older you are, the better your body comes to resist it, and therefore more mature. So where do you guys stand on this topic? Do you think the DUI laws need to become more strict?
Yes.
No.
That would probably need to be stopped before the case.